Rise and shine, Rwanda.
Good morning. You're tuned in to Kigali's #1 breakfast show, and my name is Ivan Magwene.
And I'm Peace Quizera. Coming up on Rise and Shine.
Of the day, we ask you for teachers are really engaging.
We also look at CHAPATI, one of the most preferred fast food brands in Kigali.
And in Lifetime, we look at life after this one. All that and more still to come, but first, we have the latest from the other host. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Ivan.
So how are you doing?
I'm really good. It's a great week and yeah, not complaining.
All right. How is Tuesday going for you, Chantal?
It's very great. It just feels new every day, you know.
You have the latest in business? Or?
Yes, of course.
All right, Peace. Good morning. You know, I always forget, but today I'm not forgetting again. Make sure I remember that. And how are you feeling right now?
Well, it's slightly less painful because I went running yesterday, but well, I'm getting there slowly by slowly. Thank you for your advice.
All that and more still to come, but first we have the latest trending stories. Starting off with the local stories, a newly formed local NGO whose main objective is to fundraise and provide any other support to its France-based counterpart says it is determined to do whatever it takes to help bring genocide suspects in France to book despite the odds. The president of Association Les Amis du Collectif des Partis Civiliens pour du Rwanda, Dr. Ezias Rwanda, stressed this on as he addressed journalists during a press conference at the newly formed organization headquarters in Kigali. For years, we have seen different organizations, different advocates trying to pull down and bring those genocide suspects who are still moving free on the streets of France. Do we actually see the dreams of some of these organizations coming to reality, or it is unless there is political will, especially in France, that we see this coming?
Well, you'd see from years back, the political will wasn't there in France to get these.
Would you say today it is there?
There's been an improvement because even the relations are improving somehow. And, well, we have to put the past behind and forge some new relationships because we live in a global world. So this is a good move, and I think more people are going to be apprehended. Yeah, I can predict that.
All right. So would you think actually that it is high time that France now gets to work with these civil organizations that are to bring down these people that are still working free? And what does this mean between the relations of France and between the relations between Paris and Kigali?
Of course, I think France should take care of this because these are people living in France and responsible for the genocide. So that could actually bridge the gap between Rwanda and France and even improve the relations. And that could serve as justice to the Rwandans whose families perished because of those people or any ideologies that were brought about. So I think it's high time France ended this. All
right, we're moving on to the second story. The government, in partnership with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and the city of Kigali, have launched a new effort. They say it's an innovative approach to ensuring easy access to condoms in HIV hotspots in the capital. The initiative, named 24/7 Condom Distribution Kiosk Initiative, involves strategic placement of condom kiosks in 4 high HIV high-risk areas in the city, which are Mijina, which is in the Gasao district, Majerwa, and Jiporoso and Nyamirambo in Nyarugenge districts. Now, Peace, of course, I mean, before long way, no, don't make this a funny story. Serious story, we're saving lives.
Okay. Yes. I'm just really glad. I've never been glad and they just go on laughing.
So, I mean, Peace, we're moving around Kigali. Actually, I think it was around Thursday night last week. And we saw these beautiful kiosks. I have to say, they're really beautiful. Yeah, and they look so attractive.
They're like purple and then blue and then pink.
They
have to attract people.
Wow. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, most people, at first we had these other placements for condoms in the Midugudus, which I think they're not a little bit attractive because, you know, they are not, all these roads are messy and the condom is in such kind of environment, but the kiosks are a little bit beautiful. What do you have to say about this project, about this initiative, especially looking at how also, I mean, would you say something, especially in terms of the way the structure and where they are located? It is something that I think sparks the minds of people there.
First, before we saw this story in the news and where we got it, we actually got to see it ourselves. Now, it's one of those stories that you see like, oh, there is a condom place where people can actually go and get, and we were watching and
by
free.
Medina. Yeah,
and
it's written on
free, like free condoms here, and we're like, oh, Rwanda has become, and we didn't really, take it, but we thought that was such a good idea, you know. So it's placed in Mijina, and then there is another one in Jiporo, so another in Nyarijenje in Majarkwa. And, you find that this is such a good idea because, it will reduce the levels at which people, get HIV. And I don't know, like, and it's actually, it looks clean and it looks neat and it looks like a place, there is like so many people around it. Do you understand? Like it's normal, people are normal, and then, it's understandable. You want to use one, you go get one. Well, it's very easy. No one will judge you.
Well, exactly, Shanta, I would like to, just like Peace just said, she said that, it's in a public place where there are different people, very many people. Do you actually think people will find it that easy to go to a kiosk when everyone is around and say, hello, excuse me, I need a condom, when everyone is watching?
Okay, that's a question I would also ask myself and anyone else, even the viewers.
Yeah.
It's not easy because people usually shy away from that. But now that it has been put there for free, I think people are going to take advantage.
You can go to the store
and
get sugar, but you can't go to a free condom place when you need to use one. That's quite a problem. If you can go to a supermarket and buy it,
the society itself does not comprehend with that.
Let's hope they work at night too.
Yeah, of course,
definitely. 24 hours.
24/7.
I love also that they are really they are colorful, and because these things are good and they need marketing. They really need marketing because people are.
Of course, we wrap up from there. The talk goes on, but we hope, of course, this gets to create an impact within the healthcare, especially with dealing with HIV and AIDS in Rwanda. Now, moving on to the region, Moise Katumbi, the opposition presidential hopeful in the Democratic Republic of Congo, has flown to South Africa for medical treatment. His lawyer says that's what his lawyer said. A day after authorities issued an arrest warrant for him. Of course, he was accused of hiring foreign mercenaries in an alleged plot against the state, which he denies. Mr. Katumbi's lawyer, of course, has been saying this now that that Mr. Katumbi is flown to South Africa for medical treatment. This is after a protest and tear gas was fired, which affected Mr. Moise Katumbi. I mean, for most people, they know Moise Katumbi. At least if you don't know him because he's a rich man, you know him because in the sports world, he's the owner of...
He was part of the sports...
he's the owner of the famous Tepe Mazembe. Right? So, I mean, most people have been saying, we're seeing this man flee, he's fleeing Congo, because, of course, Kabila is also against him because he's trying to stand. Do you think this is creating a political turmoil already in the DR Congo?
Well, the way the situation is, even Kabila himself alone is, people really... There have been these riots and people are against him standing for another term. So him alone, he's a hot topic. And then now that this has taken place, well, it's hard, but I predict more violence in this Democratic Republic of Congo. But, well, let's hope he recovers and he comes to defend his case. And TP Mazembe, they are really a sounding club.
I knew you hadn't to go over there without saying something about TP Mazembe. Yes, Chantal, this is a man that would say that has improved the situation in the Katanga province.
Yes.
And for some, I think, he's a well-established man. He doesn't need to embezzle Congo. He's in the mines. He's very rich. He has a club which is very famous. Do you think that actually this man has the biggest chance and stands a lot on making sure that he takes the vote if he's to stand against Joseph Kabila?
Yes, I think this guy, this man has support.
So he's a very big political, person to look out for.
Yes, and he is an influence to very many Congolese. You've seen that. I'm telling you, even the Congolese in Rwanda, even some Rwandans
Yeah.
are actually up for that guy. So I pray and hope that Congolese get what they want. They get the leader they want. They get to vote for him. And this thing, him fleeing to South Africa, looks like, of course, people are saying the government has a hand in it and everything, but we hope and pray that he gets better and he stands and let justice prevail in Congo. We want to see peace in Congo. We want to see everything going on smoothly.
All right, peace for Congo. There you heard it from Chantal. And of course, we hand it over to Peace with the latest and of hot topics and trending stories. Peace, what do you have for us?
All right. Now, any person caught smoking in public in Uganda will be taken to court and charged with 200,000 Ugandan shillings.
That's a lot of money.
This according to the new law which prohibits anyone smoking in public places like taxi parks, restaurants, bars, and any other place where there is, you know, public and where there is people. Now, this is really interesting, especially because it's Uganda.
Yes.
We're very own neighbors, especially because Uganda are very own dramatic neighbors. You know, there is always drama going on.
Which I like.
But I am so glad that policies like this are coming at a time like this, you know.
Yes.
I feel like maybe this new regime is you know, kind of serious for someone.
Yes, who knew? Everyone
knew?
was like Museveni.
Well, I have to say something, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if this gets to work in Uganda. The polythene bag never worked.
It never.
Well, there was also the mini skirt. I don't know what happened over there.
No way.
No, I don't want to have that argument with the ladies.
But let me add on the miniskirt.
Yeah.
The miniskirt was it's like they actually encouraged them to wear miniskirts.
Yeah.
They let it go.
All right,
Really.
well, let it go. All right. We know, honestly speaking, if this came to pass, I think this would be one of the best things to do, because actually we did this also in Kigali, because sometimes you are in a restaurant, you just hear somebody smoke, just smell somebody's smoke, and you're like, we need something like this to happen.
Yeah.
And I think we need to advocate for this, especially for our parliamentarians to do. But I hope this is not one of those things
I
that
know, I hope
parliamentarians
just go.
in Uganda implement, pass out the bill, at the end of the day, never works.
But I also feel like 200,000 is not that much money for
What
you know
is
finding.
that
I'm
much?
sorry, it's not that
For
much.
people who are
For people
smoking
in-
everywhere, it's too
Well,
much.
it's too
For
much.
just
If you just have
because
like
of your cigarette.
The way I don't like cigarettes and the way I don't like it when someone just blows a cigarette at me, that is how much I really feel like they should even raise the rate at tuition and they find
I
them.
think that is
I'm
going
just
to
saying.
work. I hope
Stephen,
it
do you
does.
have anything to add on this?
Well, I don't know if they specify for crowded places.
Yeah, it's no, not crowded, just the public where there are people.
Well, if it's in a crowded place, they have a problem. But if somebody is you're in a corner by yourself, I don't know, me, I think it is okay.
Yeah, because it's affecting, passive smokers. Passive smokers actually are affected more than the smokers themselves. So it's quite, a sad story for the smokers, of course. But I am so glad. I'm sorry, but I'm so glad that
They'll
this is
still
actually
smoke
something
though,
that
but
they'll still smoke, but in their own way.
So Uganda's no more sportsman for you.
No more
In public.
sportsman for you. Now, moving on to the second hot topic. President Obama's eldest daughter, Malia Obama, will be attending Harvard in 2017 after taking a gap from high school. Malia follows footsteps of her parents, of whom both attended the same school in Ivy Leagues. Now, I find this very interesting. Now, for example, how many of us kind of follow our parents' footsteps? We understand.
Well,
some of our parents went to schools like, some of you might know them, Budo Kings, and others went to Makerere University. And well, some of us don't even know if we will be going to the same universities. I'm just saying that because we do not have the grades, but but. What do you have to say?
One thing I have to say is that the story of Malia attending Harvard is one big story, of course, in America and it's making. Most people have been asking after high school, where's Malia going for? Because it's it's Obama's daughter and everything. But I think the one most important thing is that, of course, Obama is retiring. I mean, he's finishing his term in office, and I think for her daughters, they're just going to be in DC for a while for the daughter to finish high school. For Malia to go to Harvard, I think this is very important also, because you're not only falling into the footsteps of your father, but you're also following a lineage of family. And I think, this is quite something that is very good for an education within, almost you're creating a dynasty of great education.
It's great to see that She
Malia.
picked the best from both
From
worlds.
both, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Actually,
I think you need to have the
when
DNA also.
I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's quite a beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
You know,
She
she
must
is.
be
She
smart
got
too.
the brains and the beauty. She's quite something.
Well,
Now, being a girl, what do you have to say about this? Would you? Of course, we all dreamt of going to school like Harvard, but
yeah.
what would you? Would you
No,
have
the
to add
dream is
about
still
this?
valid.
Okay, usually
Still
we know,
valid.
For a master's.
you know, with the African society, it's usually the boys.
Yeah.
We know the boys that follow in such footsteps. The girls will either do it, a little percentage will do it, others will just do what they want. For her to step in, it's a big step. And the good thing is that it's on both sides. It's not like she's following the dad only or the mom only. It's on both sides. So we wish her all the best.
I'm so glad and congratulations to Malia, who will be joining Harvard, of course, in 2017.
You never know, she might be my next OG. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
Things are
Who
valid,
knew?
yeah.
And of course, that is all we had for you for Hot Topics today. We'll be moving on to the story of the day.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda's story of the day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, it is said that if you want to be a great educator, you must connect with your pupils and reach them on multiple levels, because the best teachers are committed to their students' well-being, both inside and outside the classroom. By forging strong relationships, educators are able to affect virtually every aspect of the students' life, teaching them the important life lessons that will help them succeed beyond term papers and exams. So, are the teachers in Rwanda doing a great job in engaging the students? So we open up the discussion, and joining us today is a teacher, Mr. Mekaruso Ndaisenga. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Well, as for example, I will give a self-example. I went through the education system in this country.
Yeah.
You belong to the education system of this country. You put in plan the policies that are made within the education sector. Would you say that the problem of students not engaging in class or the teachers not engaging the students is a two-way thing, or is a one-way thing, or to the students or to the teachers?
All right. Thank you very much for inviting me in the studio, because it's a great opportunity for me to just try to discuss about these kind of issues. The first thing that I think now, it's just that like both people, like when I talk of the teachers and the students, they both have the problem. Because first of all, teachers are limiting themselves to one issue. It's like what the Minister of Education says for me to teach, it's where I'm limited to. But and the students have like they have admitted that situation. They feel like, all right, me and my teacher, it's all about classroom, done. And then I feel like for the teachers, it should be like a one-way thing of just teach the students what you're supposed to teach them, but don't stop there. Just go ahead and motivate. Because at the end of the day, you find that students are not going to do anything if they're not being motivated. Because at the end of the day, even teachers are being motivated. Because like me, where I teach break time, they give us tea, that's motivation. And then I feel like, oh, now why not us motivating the students? And now I've been teaching for almost like this going to be my second year. I feel like something that I just came to introduce in my class, it's like after class, what can I help my students to do? I feel that's how I'm helping. Maybe we'll come again to the side of the student, but as a teacher, that's what I feel like I can contribute.
Well, now you say that it's a lot of motivation both for the teacher. Right now, teachers say we don't get enough salaries, we don't have enough things that we enjoy at school, certain allowances like any other, let's say, other employees in different places. And in any way or the other, do you think actually that with lack of that kind of luxury and that kind of motivation, this does affect the fact that students should be engaging with their students? Or you think we are good so far, the status quo is good, and there's nothing more to add to that?
Saying that teachers are not being motivated and then the salary is still down, I just feel like all right,
should that be an excuse?
That was what I was coming to. I just think that's an excuse that teachers, maybe some of them, I don't think all of them do, some of them are just doing that to make excuses of not being productive. I just feel like it shouldn't be an excuse, because at the end of the day, people are going to motivate you at the extent how do you motivate others? How are you motivating the students that you're having? Because me, if I was a director of a school, I couldn't motivate a teacher who is not motivating my student, because students students are the one paying the teachers. Now, if you can't motivate people who are paying you, how do you expect yourself to be motivated? First of all, teachers, we have to understand, why are we doing the job? Why are we doing that? Why are we holding a position of being teachers? Is it because we love it, or it's because we are going to live because of it? Now, I think that me on my side, it's not that I'm maybe trying, it's just that the way I understand the job that I do, I feel like I'm doing this because at the end of the day, like 5 years to come, I'll meet one of my students telling me, I'm doing this because of you. It just, I'm creating I'm trying to create that generation that is going to be having something that they're going to be saying, all right, Maker helped me to do that. So I feel like teachers should first motivate themselves. How are you going to be if you see a student doing something and you know you are the cornerstone, they're helping
well, the question would
that.
be right now would be, how do you engage a student in an education system where the teacher is the king and the student is the sovereign? So the king is supposed to give the student. So how do you create engagement, yet there is that same distance? As I want to get it from your own experience.
All right. First of all, there is. I used to ask a question: why do you study this subject? And then most of them were like, I study to pass exams.
Yeah.
I just feel like that shouldn't be an answer, because we have to show kids why are we teaching them what we're teaching them. And then after showing them that, tell them that because this is going to benefit you, I'm just going to be giving you, like, let's say it should be like reciprocal in a way that you give and the students give, because you can't bring everything to them. Let them do, let them go ahead and find out more things about what you're teaching them. Give them 25% and let the 75% that they bring, you contribute to it. Show them how can they do research about this, how can they apply what they study in class in their real life, make them act what they study, let them have some kind of acts, like they have a dialogue in class about what they study, because at the end of the day, if you only teach them in class and you stop there, they're just going to feel like whatever I study, I'm not going to use it out. I feel like maybe I don't even know how to use it out. So it's a matter of just showing them that what they study, they can apply it in the normal life.
Well, I would love to know, what are some of the things that you do personally in your class that you use so as the students to be engaged? What are some of the things that you do?
The first thing that I do in my class is that whenever I teach a subject, I just make sure before I give notes about that, I tell the students, according to the explanation that I've given you, go find out more about this, write an essay, write a composition about this subject, then bring it to me. You form a group, then bring it to me. I'm going to just see what you've done, and then we discuss, then we come up with something. So they feel like they're contributing more in my class more than I'm doing. But then it's not that I just give them the basics and then they go ahead, find out more. So they contribute more because they're the ones, I have notes to give to them, but most of the times they bring, like, you find that they are bringing notes, like those out of those compositions. They bring notes and I see that, yeah, they're trying to, like, notes are trying to be like mine, but then at least they understand that, they understand what we've been discussing. So
well, finally, I would love to ask you this question. Do you actually think, are you satisfied with the way the teachers are given the curriculum, they're given the material? Do you think they're qualified enough to interpret and use their skills that they have been given? Do you think they have the skills to interpret all this information and let the students be engaging? Or you think there is a gap that is missing out there, especially from the teacher's perspective?
All right, like about the curriculum and everything, the materials that come to schools, yeah, we can't be like, we can't take it to the boom level. It can't be at 100%. But at least the question should be, are we trying to maximize the materials that we're getting? I think that teachers are doing a great job down
Do you think
there.
they have the skills to interpret particularly very well?
Really, they do have the skills. But then the problem now should be, like, after giving them the
And why are students in Rwanda then not engaging?
That's what I was coming to. I'm just saying, after the problem shouldn't be, because if they're not ready, like if some schools you find that if there are schools that don't have teachers who can really give the materials well, I think that should be the problem of the schools. Why don't they hire like qualified teachers? But then teachers, we have them. But the problem is, now after them giving the materials, what follows? Do you motivate kids to really understand the materials? Because kids pretend. I've been with them, they pretend, like we understand. You give them tests, they just try to, like, do cram work. They go there, just try to act like they understand everything. Yeah, they don't. They just come and answer your paper. Sometimes you be like, you give them something in the notes, you find them exactly the way it is in the exam. You be like, this one is not understanding. Though he passed, he's not understanding. So that kind of motivation, how do you motivate your kids? Now, I nowadays developed an act in my class whereby we use debates. We bring up, like we have a subject, we just put it there, I create a motion out of it. We be like, all right, we're discussing about this, but let's debate about it. There is a side that is just disagreeing with them, and there is another side that is proposing it. And just be like, all right, out of this, now I can see that they're lacking this, and you find they're enjoying it. So it's just a matter of how teachers create like icebreakers, like everything we do should be in the line with what we're supposed to give to the student. I just feel like it will be a great thing if all teachers can really apply something like that.
Mekaruso, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And there you had it, of course, from the educator's perspective. And of course, let us know your opinions by, you can go over to our Twitter page and Twitters and let us know your opinions on this same topic. And let's keep our education growing. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Shantari Uwera is up next with business.
Welcome back. It's now time for your business stories with me, Chantal Uwera. Government has signed deals with different export-oriented firms with aim of helping build their capacity. Operations of small and medium enterprises will soon start signing performances and contracts with the government, a move that is aimed to enhancing productivity and promoting value addition in the sector. Exporters to pay more for containers come July, a new requirement to be implemented globally. The International Maritime Organization is making verification of weights a condition for loading packed export containers aboard ships to conform to amended changes to Safety of Life at Sea Convention. Venezuela food crisis forces Coca-Cola shutdown. This comes as a result of the firm to stop producing over sugar shortage as the country faces one of the worst economic crises. The company explained in a statement that 90% of its beverage production requires sugar, but it noted that it would not close in the headquarters or leave the country. If you leave Kigali for even a month, you come back to something new. New roads, new buildings, and you can always bet that there's at least some new restaurant or lounge that people are raving about. CHAPATI in Majerwa is one of them. We caught up with them, and here are the details. Hidden out of the way in Gikondo, CHAPATI is not a place you randomly pass by and not become curious about. We caught up with the staff, and they took us through the process of making a delicious CHAPATI.
Mwaramutse mwatubwira uko mwitwa n'ibyo murimo gukora.
Mwaramutse nitwa Witije Emmanuel ndi umukozi muri CHAPATI Kigali since 2015. Ni sosiyete yatangiye 2015 tukaba dukora amacapati.
Iyi CHAPATI ugiye kudukorera yitwa nguki?
Iyi ni CHAPATI navuga ngo ni yisanzwe ariko ntabwo ukurikije ibyo twakoresheje ushaka gusanga idasanzwe. Ariko ni CHAPATI nyine turi bukore ikaza igaragara nka CHAPATI isanzwe. Iyo dutetse CHAPATI rero turabanza tukayishyira ku ipanu, nta mavuta dushyizeho tukayishyira ku ipanu gusa. Ikabanza igafata hasi kara igasa naho ihiyeho ariko nta mavuta ariho. Aribyo turimo dukora hano, hanyuma tukayihindura. Iyo tumaze kuyihindura noneho nubwo dushyira amavuta kuri rwa ruhande twari tumaze gushyira ku ipanu, tugashyiraho utuvuta dukeya, tugashyiraho utuvuta duke tukadusigaho ku ruhande, ubundi ukareka CHAPATI yawe igashya. CHAPATI yacu iyo imaze gushya turayizana hano, tugiye gukora iyo twita meat CHAPATI. Ni CHAPATI dutanga twashyizemo ibindi bintu. muri capati rero ni capati dushyiramo inyama, tugashyiramo umuceri, tugashyiramo ibishyimbo, tugashyiramo kacumbari, tugashyiramo na avoka, hanyuma tukabizingira muri capati mo imbere. Iyo tumaze kubishyiramo kugira ngo umukiriya aze kubona uko ayifata neza, dushyiraho ino aluminium agace gatoya aho ari buze gufata. Hanyuma then umukiriya ni uku nguku turi buze kumuha capati, najya kuyifata arafata gutya, hanyuma abona abo
What do you have there? What's the name of the chapati?
This is the Eve chapati, and apparently it was named after a guy called Eve, and it has minced meat, guacamole, I think, and kachumbari, right? And I can't wait. Basically, like I can't literally wait.
Okay, taste and let me know. So do you want to tell us how that felt?
Can I take another bite first?
First tell me.
No, it's that good. It is soft. It is tasty. This is the best part about it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know, if it was skin, it was like moisturized. Do you understand? Like that kind of feeling. It's like it has everything in its place, and it has like tomatoes, all kinds of food value in it.
Yes.
So with my mom, she always looks for the food value in things, and I think it has everything. I really want to take another bite now.
Well, bon appetit. Well, thank you for being with us, and you've seen it all. Peace was practically speechless, and we've enjoyed the chapati. The joint is wonderful, and we've enjoyed the food also. I can't wait to taste mine, though. We're at Chapati Majerwa in Gikondo. Thanks for watching. I'm Uwera Chantal, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Well, Chantal, that looked amazing.
Yes.
Now, what it's called chapati, right? Now, what makes it different from any other chapati joints that we have? We have one in Kihojere, in our Mudugudu, but what makes it different from all the other chapati joints everywhere else?
Okay,
Why
first
is
of
it
all,
even called chapati?
it being called chapati, this is what I got from the owner.
Yeah.
It was just meant for simplicity. That is something anyone could understand and could say easily and could remember, because you want to brand your business a name that can be easily remembered.
Yeah.
So that's why it was called chapati in the first place. And the speciality there is wonderful. It's not what we always find in other chapati joints. We have different chapatis and Rolexes, things that we don't usually find in Rwanda. So they have chapatis that were named after people because of what they invented. That is something we are not familiar with in Rwanda.
So if I went and invented maybe a chapati that is wrapped with guacamole and wrapped with my own flavor to it, they would call it after me.
Yes, Peace Chapati or Peace Rolex.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, that was the most interesting part, actually.
Wow.
You get to eat people's names and their inventions. Peace
Wow.
Chapati, Yan Chapati.
I tried a few. I tried a little bit of one of their chapatis.
yes.
At least one of their, and believe me, it's one of the most amazing things. I think it
True.
tasted something different.
Yes, and the good
You
thing
know.
is that their chapatis are fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they made them the previous night and then they're serving them the next morning. They are fresh. They make them when you're there. As soon as you make the order, they make them. The veggies are fresh. Actually, they are aiming at giving people organic stuff, but then
Yeah.
things that can be enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the exact location so that, if, I have to go back there, at least give us a few directions so that it becomes easier.
Okay,
for
well,
people.
it is in Gikondo, Majerwa, actually the headquarters of Majerwa, where we find Rwanda Revenue and everything. And I actually asked why it had to be there, because it's a hidden place, kind of, with all those trucks and offloading and everything. That's actually where most of the workers in Gikondo will gather for lunch, for breakfast, even in the evening when they need to grab something. So actually, the Chapati joint tapped some untapped market of people that really needed that.
There are not so many restaurants over there.
Exactly.
Wow, that's quite interesting. I think she's a really interesting, young lady over there.
Yes, entrepreneur.
Well, there you had it for business. Of course, we'll be right back with sports with Stephen Kalimba.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's time now for your sports news. I'm Stephen Kalimba. Players in preparations for the chess Olympiad in Azerbaijan. The qualifiers started off on Friday at Classic Hotel, and with 10 players from different chess clubs competing for a top 5 spot. Over the next 2 weeks, 9 rounds will be played, and the top 5 will be selected to represent the country at the Chess Olympiad in Baku, Azerbaijan, which takes place from September 1st to 14th. Players Alexis Ruzigura and Fidel Mutawazi lead the qualifiers with 2 points each. Rwanda to step up preparations after qualifications to Division 1C Africa Rugby. Tarsis Kamana, the Rwanda Rugby Federation General Secretary, said the competition is tougher in the division and thus the need for better mental and physical training plus a full-time coach. This comes after the Rwanda Silverbacks 12-9 loss to the DRC Leopards in the final of the Africa Cup Division 2 East last Friday. Rwanda qualified courtesy of being full World Rugby members. Division 1C includes countries Nigeria, Morocco, Mauritius, and Cameroon. And in the NBA, Oklahoma City Thunders defeat Golden State Warriors to take series 2-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Kevin Durant scored 33 points as the Thunders cruised past Warriors 133-105 on Sunday. League MVP Steph Curry had a quiet night with only 24 points. The two sides square off today in Game 4. There you had it. Peace Quizera is up next with Lifestyle.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's time for Lifestyle with me, Peace Quizera. Now, as we continue to cover our different series on life after Miss Rwanda, I believe with or without the crown, you can still be a role model to different young ladies. Miss Karake, Doreen, is a young lady who is passionate about helping people with disabilities in any way that she can. She is joining us in studio today to talk about what she's been doing since. Doreen, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so you're just going to start by, telling us your names and well, your post. I know, but all the viewers don't know.
Yeah. I'm Doreen Karachimoza. I'm second runner-up Miss Elegance Rwanda. I'm among top 15 finalists Miss Rwanda 2016.
Yeah.
Miss Rwanda 1000 province.
All right. So we're just going to be covering a series on what the girls have been doing since the competition. Now over boot camp we were talking about how with or without the crown we'll still run whatever we had promised to run, but of course we're going to be covering different people, even myself, but you're just going to start by telling us tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since the competition.
Yeah, I'm still working on my project.
Which is about?
Yeah, help disabled people, especially blind people and deaf people. So I'm doing it at Muhanga, Southern Province.
Yeah. So you're basically doing it where you competed from.
Exactly.
And so how many people are in your project? What are the numbers that you're starting with right now?
No, I'm not just knowing the number, so I'm just doing it. So I don't know exactly the number.
You don't really know the number, but it's like is it like an association or an institution?
It's like a foundation.
It's a foundation that is already there. That you just so basically, what do you do? When you go there, do you maybe help them, or what exactly do you do when you're there?
I help them to do their. Also, they are doing their project, what they need to do in their life, in their every time, what they need to know. Especially I help. Right now I'm with deaf people only. I don't have blind people.
Yeah.
So basically we do, we take their project, we work on their project, what they want to do in their life. So I have some people who train them. So right now they are training them how to do their project. After I'm going to take like 5 projects, the best one. So I'm going to give them like 2 million for one project. After they are going to do their projects, like a foundation, I take a group of people, they are doing what they want to do.
All right, so have you found any challenges, especially with funding? Because I've had some of those problems, but have you found any challenges, especially with funding your projects?
Especially challenge I have got is for the blind people. It's for the first time I meet blind people even brand deaf. It was what? How can you speak? How what? Especially when they are deaf, we use sign language. But brand also deaf. I don't know the sense if they use sign language. I don't know, especially which language
The
can
blind
you use.
people.
Yeah, brand also deaf.
And
They are
deaf.
brand also
Blind and deaf.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about with funding? Getting money, for the projects. So what do you get it from somewhere, or do you hope to get it from somewhere?
I hope to get some.
You hope to get it from
Yeah.
somewhere. So have you found it very smooth so far? Is everything okay?
Not somehow okay. There is some problem finding there, but I'm trying to. Yeah,
Right.
you understand. I'm trying to answer some questions they have there. I'm trying to finding cash money also. So that's a big challenge I had.
And I see English is coming along. You being Francophone and all, English is becoming, the easiest thing right now. It's like somewhat.
Thank
And I'm
you.
so glad that, you're becoming more flexible and, easy, to communicate, especially in English.
Yeah.
Doreen, thank you so much. We hope to have you again in studio.
Thank you. You're most welcome. That's it.
All right, so there you had it from Miss Karake Doreen on Life After Miss Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break. Well, that is all we had for you today, but don't forget, we'll love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW, like us on Facebook, and send us your ideas for the program. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page where you can catch all the shows, and please endeavor to subscribe. Find us on Instagram, and do remember we love to see your pics. And lastly, do not forget to check out our website where you can catch everything that we do. You're with me, Peace Quizera.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then, but for now, it's goodbye from... You guys had fun?
It was fun. It was good.
Now, if they had fun, we also hope you had fun, and we'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. But for now, it's goodbye.